Welcome to AffairsCloud. My name is Vikas Rana. We are one-stop solution for current affairs. You can find our Crack Current Affairs course on our application exclusively for current affairs, where you will be getting daily, weekly and monthly current affairs on regular basis. You can use code VIKAS10 to get additional 10% discount while purchasing the course. This video is available both in English and Hindi. The timestamp for both English and Hindi are mentioned in the description of each video. You can contact us on the number provided or mail provided. Also follow us on Telegram and Instagram, and the link for the same is provided in the description of each video. Also students, we have started a new initiative that is of handwritten notes. It is helpful to understand the news daily, time saving and very useful for your revision. We aims to cover 15 questions via handwritten notes in upcoming bank exams. These handwritten notes are available on daily current affairs content PDF at our mobile application and website careerscloud.in. Only our Crack Current Affairs subscribers will be able to access these handwritten notes. A sample PDF of the handwritten notes will be available in the description.
Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you are all good. So students, in this video we will be discussing important current affairs for appointments and resignation for September. Let's start. The first question is, who has been recently reappointed as MD and CEO of CDSL, that is Central Depository Service Limited? So Nehal Vora, right? Then he has been appointed as MD and CEO of CDSL and he will be in this position for the next 5 years. Next, who has been recently appointed as the Director General of CISF, that is Central Industrial Security Force. So Rajvinder Singh Bhatti has been appointed as the new DG of CISF. He will be succeeding whom? He will be succeeding Anish Dayal Singh. Next, who has been recently appointed as the Chief Secretary of Delhi? So Dharmendra has been appointed as the new Chief Secretary of Delhi. He will be succeeding whom? He will be succeeding Naresh Kumar. Next, who has been recently appointed as the Deputy Chief of Air Staff of Indian Air Force? So Tejendra Singh has been appointed as the Deputy Chief of Air Staff of the Indian Air Force. Next, who has been recently appointed as the Chairman and Managing Director of Hindustan Aeronautics Limited? So D.K. Sunil. He has been appointed as the Chairman and Managing Director of HAL. He will be succeeding whom? He will be succeeding whom? He will succeed C.B. Anantha Krishnan, right? And remember, his position here or his term will start from 1st of September 2024. Next, who has been recently appointed as the Chief Secretary of Bihar? So Amrit Lal Meena appointed as the new Chief Secretary of Bihar. He will be succeeding whom? He will be succeeding Brijesh Mehrotra. Next, who was recently appointed as Managing Director of NABARD Consultancy Services? So Y. Hara Gopal has been appointed as Managing Director of NABARD Consultancy Services. Next, who has recently become the first Indian to be officially named as the Foundation Ambassador of International Table Tennis Federation Foundation? So Sharat Kamal Achanta has been appointed as has become the first Indian to be officially named as the Foundation Ambassador of ITTF Foundation. Next, who has been recently appointed as the new Prime Minister of France? So Michel Barnier has been appointed as the new Prime Minister of France. Next, who was recently recommended for the position of Managing Director of SBI by FSIB, that is Financial Services Institution Bureau? So who was recommended? Rama Mohan Rao Amara. He was recommended for the position of Managing Director of SBI by FSIB. Who is the Chairman of SBI? CS Sethi. Next, who was recently named as the member of the Board of Securities and Exchange Board of India? That is, who was named recently as the member of the board of SEBI? So Deepti Gaur Mukherjee was named as the member of the board of SEBI. Next, who was the first Indian to be elected as the president of Olympic Council of Asia in September 2024? So Raja Randhir Singh was elected, has become the first Indian to be elected as the president of the OCA in September 2024. Next, who has been recently appointed as the managing director and chief executive officer of IFCO Tokyo General Insurance Company Limited? So, who he will be? Tell me, who has been appointed as MD and CEO of IFCO Tokyo General Insurance Company? So, Subrata Mondal. And Subrata Mondal will be replacing H.O. Suri. Next, who has been recently appointed as the Financial Secretary of the Ministry of Finance? So, Tuhin Kanta Pandey, appointed as the Finance Secretary of the Ministry of Finance, and he will be replacing whom? He will be replacing T.V. Somnathan. Next, who has been recently appointed as the Controller of Personal Services in the Indian Navy? So, Vice Admiral Vineet McCarthy, right, has been recently appointed as the Controller of Personal Services in the Indian Navy. Next, who has been recently elected as the chairperson of the Committee of Parliament on Official Language? So, Amit Shah, our Home Minister, right, he has been appointed as the chairperson of the Committee of Parliament on Official Languages. And remember, 2024, it marks the 75th year since Hindi was accepted as the official language. Next, who has been recently appointed as the Chief Secretary of Arunachal Pradesh? So, Manish Kumar Gupta has been appointed as Chief Secretary of Arunachal Pradesh. He will be succeeding whom? He will be succeeding C.S. Dharmendra. Next, and we know that we saw that Dharmendra ji has been appointed as the Chief Secretary of Delhi. Next, who is said to be re-elected as the President of FIH for a second term? So, Mohammad Tayyab Ikram will be appointed as the President for the second term of FIH. Next, which of the following person is not one of the 6 senior advocates who were recently appointed by ACC to serve additional Solicitor Generals in Supreme Court of India? Among the following, who is not? So, Tushar Mehta. Rest all are them. Next, who has been recently appointed as the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Galaxy Health Insurance? So, Gopal Srinivasan, right, has been appointed as Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Galaxy Health Insurance. Next, name the Indian cricketer who has recently on board as brand ambassador of Shriram Finance Limited. So, Rahul Sharan Dravid, right? Rahul Dravid has been appointed as the brand ambassador of Shriram Finance Limited. Next, who has been recently appointed as the new Prime Minister of Jordan? So, Jafar Hassan appointed as the new Prime Minister of Jordan. Next, who has been recently appointed as the brand ambassador of the Ministry of Port Shipping and Waterways? So, Manu Baka, the athlete, right? She is related to shooting and she has won bronze medals in the games, Olympic Games that were held recently in Paris. And she has been appointed as the brand ambassador of the Ministry of Port Shipping and Waterways. Next, who has been recently elected as the president of the 68th General Conference of the International Atomic Energy Agency? So, Sang Wook Ham, right, has been elected as the president here of IAEA during the 68th General Conference of IAEA. Next, who has been recently appointed as the Director General of Narcotics Control Bureau, that is NCB. So, Anurag Garg has been appointed here as Director General. He will succeed whom? He will be succeeding here Anish Dayal Singh. Next, who has been recently appointed as the Director General of Aeronautics Development Agency, the autonomous body that comes under the Ministry of Defense? So, Jitendra J. Jadhav. He has been recently appointed as the Director General of ADA. Right, take a note of this. Next, who was sworn in as the 8th Chief Minister of Delhi in September 2024? So, Atishi, right, a senior leader of Aam Aadmi Party, took oath as the 8th Chief Minister of Delhi, right, and she was appointed by the President Draupadi Murmu ma'am, and Lieutenant Governor Vinay Kumar Saxena, he administered the oath and secrecy to office. She replaced whom? She replaced Arvind Kejriwal. And Atishi, she became the third woman to become the Chief Minister of Delhi. Next, who has been recently elected as the President of Sri Lanka? So, Anura Kumara Dissanayake, right, has been appointed as elected as the President of Sri Lanka. Next is who was appointed as the next Chief of Air Staff in the Indian Air Force with effect from September 30, 2024. So, who has been appointed here as the new next Chief of Air Staff? So, Amarpreet Singh, right? Ministry of Defence has appointed Air Marshal Amarpreet Singh as the next Chief of Air Staff. He has been a recipient of Param Vashisht Seva Medal as well as the Ati Vashisht Seva Medal. Next, who has been recently appointed as the Director of the National Crime Records Bureau with immediate effect? So, Alok Ranjan. Next, who has been recently chosen as the next Chairman cum Managing Director of National Aluminium Company Limited by the Public Enterprise Selection Board? So, who has been appointed as the next chairman here? So, Brijendra Pratap Singh. Take a note of this, right? Next is students revision part. These were your current affairs. Now let's move to some revision part. Which organization reported the increase in the digital payment index to 445.5 at the end of March 2024, reflecting a 12.6 year-on-year growth? It is Reserve Bank of India, right? Take a note of it. Next, which organization or bank has recently entered into a co-lending partnership with C2 Trends and Ugro Capital to facilitate loans to the MSME sector? It is SIDBI. So SIDBI, they have entered into a co-lending partnership with C2 Trends and Ugro Capital in order to provide loans to the MSME sector, right? Take a note of this. Next, which organization has recently collaborated with Bank of India to facilitate easy financing for rooftop solar installations and establishment of electric vehicle charging station? So for rooftop photovoltaic solar panels installations and for the setup or full infrastructure of electric vehicle charging station, for this, which organization has collaborated with Bank of India? It is Tata Power Solar Systems Limited. They partnered with Bank of India in order to provide financing for these two setups. Next, SEBI's chairperson Madhabi Puri Butch recently launched India's first website for passive funds, and this website was launched where? It was launched at National Stock Exchange, right? Apart from this, remember, this will facilitate comprehensive platform for retail investors, and this will allow them to, or it will help them to easily access information and understand the Indian passive industry. Next, which company has recently received the composite insurance brokering license from IRDAI? So which is that organization? It is Insurance Dekho. This license will allow this organization to offer reinsurance brokering services alongside their existing insurance brokering offering. Next, which bank has recently in partnership with Goki launched the Smart Vital Plus smartwatch for contactless payment? It is Kotak Mahindra Bank, right? This is a leading Indian private sector bank. They in partnership with smart tech enabled healthcare platform Goki, they have announced the launch of Kotak Goki Smart Vital Plus smartwatch. It is a wearable and a contactless RuPay on the go payment solution. It was powered by National Payment Corporation of India. The introductory price of this website of this watch on the website is around 3,499 rupees. Next, which bank has recently partnered with Swift to launch an artificial intelligence driven pilot to help combat payments and frauds occurring in the cross-border payments. So it is which bank? The bank is Axis Bank, right? Axis Bank partnered with Swift. Now what is Swift? Swift is Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication. This AI driven pilot project is expected to provide a very secure infrastructure that will allow the financial institutions to exchange important information along with privacy preserving models. Next, Government of India and World Bank, they have recently signed how much amount agreement to construct the Green National Highway Corridor project. So, Government of India, they have recently partnered with World Bank and have signed an agreement worth $500 million, and this is basically to deploy or to make safe and green highways. Safe and green highways, right? Take a note of this. Next, which Indian firm has recently partnered with Vested Finance to offer access to global investing for Indians and NRIs? So in order to give access to or access or invest in India to access it, global options, global sectors, global markets, it is HDFC Securities, right? They have partnered with Vested Finance to offer global investing options to Indians and NRIs. Next, which type of cooperative banks are covered under the RBI's revised instructions on bad and doubtful debt reserve to ensure uniformity? So, which type of cooperative banks are covered? It is urban cooperative bank and state cooperative banks. These two cooperative banks are covered under the revised instructions on bad and doubtful debt reserve to ensure uniformity, right? And these revised instructions, they will act as a one-time measure to provide rectification and smooth transactions to an AS compliant approach. Next, with which organization did Thomas Cook India's limited partner to launch the Rupee AED Forex card for Indian travelers visiting UAE? So, with which organization did Thomas Cook India Limited partner to launch this Rupee AED card? So, which is that organization? NPCI, National Payment Corporation of India. And this innovative Made in India initiative is a first of its kind partnership with any Indian non-banking entity. Next, SEBI directed Dash to value their investments in the 81 bonds issued by bank on yield to call basis. So, SEBI, they have directed which organization? They have directed the mutual funds to value their investment into 81 bonds issued by banks on the yield to call basis. These 81 bonds, these bonds are known as the perpetual debt instruments, which are issued by the banks to raise money and to build up their core equity capital. This yield to call, YTC, right? It is the expected return percentage by the investor. Next, Reserve Bank of India issued master directions on the treatment of willful defaulters and large defaulters to scrutinize all NPA accounts that have outstanding amounts of how much? That have an outstanding amount of 25 lakh rupees or above. Right? This will set up a transparent and non-discriminatory framework that will allow the willful defaulters and also disseminate the credit card information about the willful defaulters to the caution lenders against further financing to them, so that the people who organizations that are financing such defaulters, that thing cannot happen and more money cannot go to them because they are not even paying the money that they borrowed earlier.